Welcome to the Tick Tock Podcast. The clock is always ticking, so let's synchronize our watches and dive in. I'm your host, Callie Brigham, and I'm here to help you make time for what matters. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Tick Tock. What a privilege to be with you. Where are you listening today? Or where are you watching? Are you in your car? Are you putting your makeup on? Are you just sitting down with a cup of coffee? Thank you for letting me be part of your day. And speaking of thank yous, I have some people that I want to shout out to. Not only my launch team, you guys have been amazing, but also here's some people that I hope that you will stay tuned with me because I want them to be on my show. They've played a huge role in helping me get started. And that's a whole nother topic for another day on asking for help when you need it and when you're starting something new. So thank you to Vanessa and Shayna and Dawn and Tracy and Emily. All of you have played a part in what I perceive to be the success of this new podcast. And again, I look forward to having you on my podcast so that I can introduce you to the world and have you share your gifts and your ideas and your perspective with them. Of course, future episodes on Fridays. I mean, who knows? James Clear, author of Atomic Habits. You're going to have to wait your turn. You're going to have to wait your turn. But call me James. Anyways, as we approach Thanksgiving week, yep, it's coming close to Thanksgiving week and really the thick of the holiday season. The tip that I want to give you today, I'm calling your three intentions. Your three intentions. This is a tool that's going to allow you to manage your time and stay intentional, but also to help you craft your own priorities and not just get through the holidays and feel like maybe you missed what they were all about or have to have major recovery and re-entry after it's over. I call that the holiday hangover. Or deal with the guilt we talked about on the last episode, or the blahs, or again, just feel super overcommitted and maybe underappreciated, out of balance, out of whack. All right. The three intentions. This is the gift that I'm going to give you today. I will give you the background on these three intentions here. I do want to say this should be a tool and can be a tool, and it is a tool for me that extends way beyond the holidays. So if you're listening and it is not Thanksgiving time, you're going back to listen to all the episodes you missed, just know that this can be applicable any time of year. I just think it's especially important as we are inundated with adding a lot extra to our plate right now. So it comes from a journal. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'm holding up the journal. It comes from a journal that my daughter gave me in December of 2019. So this is not a planner or like a gratitude journal. It's called the Thoughtful Journal. And sadly, they actually don't make this journal anymore. I think I have the very last one. I have bought a couple extra throughout the years because December 2019 was the first year I got it. So I'm super sad to say that I am like on my last pages of this journal. So I guess I might just have to make my own. Maybe there'll be some TikTok merch coming your way. So back to my story. The reason that this journal is so important to me is that I actually used it. And the only reason I used it was a gift. It was a gift from Maddie for Christmas that year. And what a gift it became. And it became a gift because I started to journal in this journal in January of 2020. Yeah. Anybody know what happened significant a couple months later? So I actually have my thoughts, my feelings, my fears, the whole thing, the whole gamut. I have journaled 2020. And then because just things kept rolling along, I've journaled 2021, 2022, and it has made a huge impact on my emotional management, on my time management, and more. One of the biggest parts that this journal entails is rating your week, like rating your week on a scale of 1 to 10. That's a whole nother episode, and we'll save that. Today, what I want to hone in on are the three intentions. So what that means is the three areas of focus, the three areas of direction, clarity, commitment that you're going to have for that week. And then everything that you do, you want to fall under those intentions. So it's kind of like, what do I want to accomplish in my week? At the end of the week, what do I want to say that I spent the most time and energy and focus on? It's those three intentions. Callie, are the three intentions personal? Are they professional? Yes. Yes. Can they be general? Yes. Can they be specific? Yes. How do you discover what those three things are, though, right? That's the key. How do I know what these three intentions are that maybe I want to put into practice for this coming week of Thanksgiving? Maybe I want to put in practice for this coming holiday season. Well, in this journal, the first thing that you do is you actually make two more lists. All right, so hang with me, hang with me. The first list you make are a list of about 5 things that you want to do more of that particular week. 5 things you want to do more of that particular week. All right, or maybe 3 or 4, doesn't matter. The next column or the next section is 5 things you want to do less of. Interesting, right? Okay, so many times, again, we talk about the positive reinforcement, the positive things, but it's just as important to say, yeah, but what do I not want to do? What do I want to take off my plate? What is not serving me, my family, etc.? So once you have those things, narrow down a little bit more. What are the 5 things I'd love to do more of? What are the 5 things I'd love to do less of? Or again, 1 or 2 or 3. It doesn't have to be 5. From that list, you're going to narrow it down to your 3 intentions. It's almost like I want you to put on these vision glasses, vision goggles that block out everything except for those 3 things. And I'm going to give you some examples of what those 3 things could be. Now, from those 3, then you're going to look over your week, your calendar, your tasks, your responsibilities, your white space, your free time. Ha, everybody laughs at that one. What is free time? Maybe if there's some free time in there, you're going to look over your yeses, your nos, your opportunities, and you're going to decide what needs to take priority. Maybe it's not even just these like vision goggles or these clarity goggles, but it's like a filter. All right. These are your filter glasses. Have you ever put those on where you look around and the rose colored glasses, etc.? Okay. These are your intention glasses that you're putting on, and everything else is eliminated. Right? So once you decide what those 3 intentions are, and again, I'm going to give you an example or 2, then you're going to use that to filter out what your week is going to be. Ideally, what you want it to look like, where you want to spend your time the most. Now, here's the thing. You're not going to remember what the 3 things are. You're not. I know. You think you will. I mean, does anybody remember what their word of the year was last year? Now, I do, and we're going to talk about that as we get closer to January, but you're not going to remember what the 3 things are. You think you will, but you don't. So you may want to do things like make it your homepage on your phone or your screensaver on your electronics. You may want to write it on your mirror that week. Maybe every Sunday night, you write your 3 intentions on your mirror with like a wine marker or a lipstick. Maybe you're going to post it on your steering wheel. So every time you get in the car, you're like, okay, where am I headed? Literally and figuratively. Or, where do you spend a lot of time? Maybe you have a little sign across from your potty because you use the restroom at least a couple times a day, or on your refrigerator, or I don't know. Maybe you have a little like rubber band and you just snap it and it snaps you back into reality of your 3 intentions. You're going to want to put them somewhere because I promise you the busyness, the chaos of the week is going to sneak up on you and you're going to forget on Monday morning. You're going to forget on Tuesday afternoon. You're going to forget and you're going to get to the end of the week and that's when we beat ourselves up, or that's when we feel like, man, I totally missed the boat on this week. All right. So what could an intention look like? I'm going to just, I don't know, give you a few suggestions, and they might even sound a little general, and that's fine. An intention might be, I want to tap into my creativity this week. I'm going to tap into my creativity this week. All right. If that's an intention for you, then something that could be filtered into your week would be like time spent on Pinterest or going to a specialty store because You want to make an incredible side dish or main dish or whole meal for your family or those that are gathering with you. I'm going to tap into that creativity for my tablescape. I'm going to tap so maybe I'm going to put into my week time to go to a special store or Hobby Lobby or again a specialty store to shop around and let my creativity flow. So creativity could be an intention for that week. Now, if you're like, oh my word, that is not my intention. My intention is simplification. Well, then your intention for that week of simplification might mean that you are delegating some of those things. You're going to do grocery pickup. You're going to have a friend that's amazing at decorating. Like she's going to be the one that does that. And you're going to maybe trade off with her. So it could be creativity, it could be simplification. Maybe your intention that week is to spend real quality time with friends and family. Or maybe your intention that week is to make sure that you have some alone time to recharge. Do you see the difference? Your intention might not look like my intention. Therefore, your calendar might not look like my calendar. And I love that. Maybe you're not going to feel the Pinterest pressure of this week. It's not going to be perfect. That's what I'm going to not focus on this week. Or maybe your focus is going to be to spend less. Or maybe your focus is going to be to pause and take in some special moments. I know for us, one of the ways that we do that is with our thankful tree. We've done it for years and years and years and years. I mean, since the kids, I don't even think they could write. They were little bitty. And I would just cut out I actually went and harvested a few leaves that had fallen and I traced them on some cardstock, put a little hole punch in them and tied some raffia around them. And I had a little kind of like a little tree with the little branches that was decorative, that was in a little vase. And we wrote on one side what we were thankful for and the date and who it was on the other side and just hung them from the little tree. Well, the next year I saved them and I pulled them back out and we looked at it again and we thought, oh, that's what we were thankful for last year. That's so sweet. And wrote new ones. Well, a decade or more later, my goodness, some of the people that wrote on those and the way we have it is anybody that comes into our house in November, they write on a thankful leaf for our thankful tree. Some of the people that have written on the leaves are in heaven now. And how special it is to look at that and to remember. And I remember some of mine were like, I was thankful for naps. The kids were really little, okay? I was thankful for naps. Or maybe you have a tablecloth that everyone gets a Sharpie. And every year you pull it out at Thanksgiving and everyone writes on the tablecloth the date and who they are and what they're thankful for. But, maybe that's an intention for you to pause and take in those special moments. So those 3 intentions, that is a great way to set up this holiday week coming up or these holiday weeks coming up or really just life in general. And I tell you that from that thoughtful journal and that just perspective shift for me, it helps me to put on those glasses, those intention glasses, and to say it doesn't really matter what someone else's intentions or what they're trying to impose on me. My 3 intentions this week are, therefore, I'm going to make sure that that shows up on my calendar or that's minimized on my calendar for that week. All right. So as we go into this week coming up, I'm so excited of what's to come. I have to tell you, you will want to set an alarm for Friday. My guest on Friday, my featured Friday guest, is going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. If you feel like you wear a lot of hats, if you feel like you have a lot of going on, a lot of plates spinning in the air, I promise you're going to want to tune in on Friday for my featured Friday guest. So God bless you as you take these intentions. And, that's really a great way to do it too, right? Ask the Lord, ask Him, sit in stillness and say, what would you have for me this week? What would you have for me this season? And then trust that little voice that you hear, trust that whisper, and move forward in those 3 intentions. I would love some feedback. I would love for you to connect with me. You can connect with me. I'll put my link in the show notes. I'd love to hear from you. What has been serving you the most in these TikTok conversations? There's a lot more to come, a way for us to start connecting as well in a community. So stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, set those intentions, and God bless. Thank you for joining me on the TikTok podcast. Please subscribe, rate, and leave a 5-star review. Your feedback fuels our mission to help you master your time. Set your alarm for our next episode, and until then, make every moment count.